Hello everyone and welcome to a new video. We are flying over to Berlin today for Joy-Con Berlin. Make sure to go check out my vlog if that's interesting for you. But in today's video we are actually going to be flying in BAs, what do they call it, Club Europe, which is their business offering. And we're flying on an Embraer 190. So we're going to check it out. Is it worth it? Is it a good value? We'll see. But tune in, we're going to vlog the whole experience, see what you get for your money, and see if it's really worth it. Welcome to the video, let's get going. So as we board, a couple of things that are worth mentioning before we've actually got onto the plane. We are flying from London City, which is kind of important as well because there's no lounge at London City. So one of the perks that you would kind of expect from a business class seat, a business class ticket, is you'd get lounge access. So you don't get this from London City, and that's kind of already one perk lost that you would expect. Now, arguably, London City doesn't really need a lounge. It's a very quiet airport. It's got lots of amenities. It's quite nice. I definitely don't feel like I missed out on it, but you know, when you have a business ticket, you kind of expect to be able to go into a lounge, get some free food, maybe a drink, and that's definitely something that's lost from this. You do get priority boarding, however, because the flight today was super busy, they were checking people's bags and giving those people also priority boarding, so didn't really end up with much of an advantage here either. However, we do get the front row seat. So I am in 1A today. One thing that's quite interesting on this plane as well is that 1C and D don't exist. So if you're in 2C or D, you get even more leg room. But we do get quite a lot of leg room here. It's certainly a comfortable space. Other than that, we also get kind of the normal lights, cabin attention, and some airflow as well. The cabin itself is not bad. However, my tray table itself was not in a good state. It was very loose. It wouldn't really tuck away properly. It wasn't actually kind of keeping itself up. It was just laying on my lap. Really not a great experience for this seat. Definitely a downside. You also don't actually get some of the other advantages that you would expect from business class on the Embraer. It's still a 2-2 configuration. It's a 2-2 configuration throughout the whole plane. So you don't get like a middle seat cutout that you do get with other like A320s with the business class offering. So you get no more space than anyone else in the plane. You don't get any more legroom either. It's the same seat. You just kind of get a slightly nicer leather to the seat, I believe. So that's kind of disappointing, I must admit. Like, you're not really getting any advantage here compared to the normal seat in that respect. We were also delayed out of London City. It seems like there was a mix-up with some paperwork. We weren't given the right paperwork for our plane. We had someone else's paperwork, and it took quite a while for them to figure that out and get it sorted, which is a shame. Although thankfully the flight itself actually went very quickly. We made up some time, and you know, it was a pleasant journey. But you're not really getting much for the extra money that you're paying for in this kind of class, which is a shame. We did get a small cold meal service. It was some aubergine, some tomato, and a kind of cheesecake-esque thing. The bread roll was warm, and actually that was a very nice bread roll, I have to say. And the dessert as well was quite nice. One thing that was a little odd was dinner service was done, and it took a long time before there was a drink service. I was well and truly finished with my food before we had a drink service. Did get a proper glass to have my Coke. Obviously there was full bar service, so you could have alcoholic drinks and stuff as well. Not something that I was too worried about though, and yeah, you know, it was nice to have a little Coke in a real glass, I guess. And that was it really. Like I say, it was a very short flight really, so it wasn't too long, and we were descending ready to head into Berlin. So that's it, that's the flight, that's the kind of experience of what we got on the flight. Like I say, generally speaking, the plane itself was quite tidy. We have to consider that these really are the workhorses of the BA fleet. They're doing multiple journeys every single day and getting used an awful lot. So
generally, tidiness was pretty good. They were clean, you know, worn, yes, but in a decent enough state. Was the business class offering worth it? Well, let's get landed and I'll give you my final thoughts on the general experience.
Okay, and that's a wrap. We are at the hotel now, flight complete. What do we think about the Embraer 190 business class? It's not great, let's be honest. The British Airways' business European class isn't great anyway. It's not a very good offering. But the problem with flying out of London City and the problem with flying on an Embraer is, so London City, there's no lounge, so you don't get lounge access. Granted, it's a much quieter airport anyway, so it's not bad. It's not an unpleasant place to be, but you don't get lounge access, which you would otherwise. And on the Embraer, you have still a 2-2 configuration, so it's literally the same setup as the rest of the plane. At least in the A320s, you have the middle seat blocked out, so you have a bit more space. So not great there either. Food service wasn't great, to be honest. The food itself, lovely, but they spent a long time doing the food service before they did the drink service, so it was very disjointed. I also feel like they only had 2 crew members for the whole plane. It was quite a full plane. So the person that would normally just be looking after business was also helping with economy. And so you're kind of losing that privilege as well. So realistically, the only reason why you would probably want to take business class is, on an Embraer, at least from City, is if you need the tier points. So that's actually why I got my ticket, why I got my upgrade. I'm sure some of you will have been like, well, Zachary, you've said before how stupid European business class is. Why have you done it? Well, to tell you the truth, the reason I've done it is to get the tier points. I'm very near my end of my tier year, so I really want to try and get up to silver, so I need to get some extra points. I would get 10 points for that trip in economy, or I get 40 points in business. So that's where it's really kind of worth it, is if you need to make up the extra points. But that's it really. I wouldn't ever choose it any other reason. In that circumstance, we're actually going to be flying back at the end of this week on an A320. I think it's going to be an Airbus either way, and we'll also be flying business then. So we're going to check out that product and just see how much better it is, if any better, and see if it is worth the money there. So do make sure to check that out. But that's kind of it, really. That's my thoughts. Like I say, not an amazing product. Is it really worth it? I really don't think so. So I'd save your money personally. But thank you very much for watching. If you do like these kind of reviews of different classes on different planes, I'm going to keep doing these. I've really enjoyed doing them. It's something a bit different. So please do hit that subscribe button. Please make sure to like and comment down below what you think about the British Airways business class in Europe. Thank you very much. I'll see you next time.
Worth it? Well, let's get landed and I'll give you my final thoughts on the general experience.